Shalom Alaikum. Shalom, family. Israel, four corners of the earth. Shalom, 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 shalom. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. First thing first, let us give glory and honor to our great King, the Most High Yah. Let's give thanks and praise for our Prince of the house, Hanasi Ben Sapur, Ben Zabulon. Give thanks for his son, Hanasi Prince Nat Ben Hanasi Ben Zabulon. It's still gonna always be hard. Trust me. Shalom Alaikum to my brothers, Israel, four corners of the earth. SOG, my brothers, my sisters. This is the new moon celebration that we usually keep. You know what I mean? In commemoration and remembrance of our forefathers and how our forefathers done things in the ancient times of how they did things. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the way how we can align back and see everything is true. You know what I'm saying? So right now we just finished the month of Ziv or Zil. And now we're about to go into this month that we start in this month that we're going into now is the month called Siwan. So we're gonna read a couple of passages so we could get some clarity of, you know what I mean, how the Creator left on record certain things for us to know Him and He exists. Yah is alive. You know what I mean? Yah Chai. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people read the book and think the book is a fairy tale. This ain't a fairy tale unless you read it from the backside. You know what I mean? And with the wrong books, you know what I mean? Because, you know, our books don't really have that backside. You understand? You understand? When I say the backside, I mean that added on that New Testament. You know what I mean? Don't get caught up in stuff that the Creator said. Don't get caught up in. He said, don't add to my word, neither take away from my word. You know what I mean? Nothing shall be diminished from it. So let's go into some passages. And before we even do that, let's call a prayer. You know what I mean? Ma Israel, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Eka, Ve'apta et Yahuwah Eka, Bika lebaka, Ubika lefeshka, Ubika modeka. Oh, hear, O Israel, Yah is our power. Yah only, Yah alone, Yah one. Love Yah with all thy heart, all thy soul, and all thy vitality. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. The words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Yah. Torah Yah for family. Torah Yah for virgin sisters in love. The love of you, Yah. We all unite in your name, Yah. And that's the best way to be united in your name. And let us continue to do so. So as we align ourselves with your new moons, to realign ourselves with your words, your statutes, your law, your commandments, your instructions, your judgments, your ordinances, your customs, your ways. Torah Yah for brotherhood. What you said is like an anointing oil. Every day I can see it more and more that it is. Compared it to it, so it must be powerful. And I see it every day. Humbleness also I see is powerful. Torah Yah. And may you bless your whole inheritance and your portion with those good qualities that you blessed your people with, oh Yah. Hallelujah. 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 Torah for all things and everything. Torah. Torah for you, my brother Prince Shem. Torah for my brother Prince Yehuda. Yeah, my brothers are in the place right now. You know, we still here representing Chief Cat Ephraim. We done hold, he holding the post. You know what I mean? We here, we still holding the fort for the Most High, doing what we supposed to do. So first thing we gonna go into some of the stuff from the month that we just finished. The month called Ziv. So in First Kings chapter 6, it says, Hallelujah. And it came to pass in the 480th year after the children of Israel were come out of the land of Egypt, in the 4th year of Shalom's or Solomon's reign over Israel, in the month of Ziv, or the month of Ziv, which is the second month, right? That is the month that we are just coming out of, the month that is just been being completed. If you look in the sky now, you shouldn't see no slither. You know what I mean? We don't follow the slither. You know what I mean? We're doing it exactly how the Most High aligned it. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? It's 4 quarters, 4 phases of the moon. We're going according to the same alignments he left on record from in Better Sheet. And so he telling you the second month is Ziv. You know what I mean? And we're going into the month called Siwan. So in that chapter, in First Kings chapter 6, you heard he said it's in 400. It was 480 years after the Exodus, after we left out of Egypt. It was the 4th year of King Solomon's reign. And there's stuff left on record, not just biblical stuff. There's secular stuff left on record to align with these truths. You know that King Shalomo had met Queen of Sheba, and they both align in the time of like I would say, I don't want to be off. I want to say it right. Like around 970 BCE, before Common Era, to 930 BCE. Because his father reigned from like 1010 BCE to 970 BCE. They both had like a 40-year reign. So if he within his 4 years of his first being starting to reign, and you know, if you subtract from that 970, you're gonna get 966, right? So you add 480 because they said it was 480 years from the Exodus. So this is how I get the number 1446 BCE being the day of when the Most High did Pesach, you know, call us out of Mizraim. And a lot of people get that same number because they just did the same calculations that's left on record for the people to do. This is just more proof that the Almighty exists. The world knows, just like how Moses proclaimed Yah, Yod Hey Wah Hey, the supreme being, the supreme intellect of this universe, the maker, the owner, the possessor of all things. You know what I mean? A dreadful, the one that should be feared and whose commandments should be kept. You understand what I'm saying? And these things are left on record for us to know that our King is true and real. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna go to those parts too when the Creator spoke to us on Mount Sinai. But before so, let's go to another part where you actually hear the word of the next month that's coming in right now, which we in right now, called Siwan. So we're gonna go to Esther. Go to Esther 8. So, so it speaks as on this in Esther 8.
We're in the book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 1. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
On that day did the king Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, the Hebrews' enemy, unto Esther the queen. And Mordecai came before the king, for Esther had told what he was unto her. And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai. And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman. And Esther spoke yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman the Agagite, and his device that he had devised against the Hebrews. Then the king held out to Esther the golden scepter. So Esther arose and stood before the king. And she said, if it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the thing seem right before the king, and I be pleasing in his eyes, let it be written to reverse the letters of the device by the letters devised by Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, which he wrote to destroy the children of Israel that are in all the king's provinces. For how can I endure to see the evil that shall come unto my people? Or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred? Then King Ahasuerus said unto Esther the queen, and to Mordecai the Hebrew, behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman, and him they have hanged upon the gallows, because he laid his hand upon the Hebrews. Write ye also concerning the Israelites, as it liketh you, in the king's name, and seal it with the king's ring. For the writing which is written in the king's name, and sealed with the king's ring, may no man reverse. Then were the king's scribes called at that time in the 3rd month, which is in the month Siwan.
Stop right there. So you getting a description of when what the 3rd month is called. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And it's in a time when we in other people's, you know what I mean, other people's grips, but you know what I mean, is still the name that we called it. You know what I mean? I don't want to go by none of the Babylonian stuff, like when we use things like Tammuz. We shouldn't use those things. You know what I mean? The ones them that's actually in the book, we could, you know, if it's left on record for us to go by, it would make sense to go by it. You know what I mean? So Siwan is the month, the 3rd month, the 3rd month. So you see what Queen Esther was going through with Mordecai, you know what I mean, and the Agathites, the persecuting of Israel in those times, you know what I mean, because of what the ancient forefathers, King Saul, didn't do to protect, you know what I mean, protect our people in the future, because all we really have to do so is just obey Yah. You know what I mean? Obedience is better than a sacrifice, like what Adon Shamuel told him. So right now, let's go to when the Most High alarmed us himself. You know what I mean? Because this time is a beautiful time. This month of Siwan is actually the time when it commemorates not just Shavuot, that, you know, Shavuot usually aligns in these times, but not just Shavuot, the Feast of First Fruits, but it's actually the Feast of, like, the First Fruits is coming next week, these times, but it's also commemorating the time when Yah spoke to us just like he spoke to Moshe, face to face, mouth to mouth. The one time he did it to all of us, our forefathers, every one of us, all our forefathers heard his voice, because that was the mission of Moshe, to bring us to this mountain to hear our Father's voice. So let us go there now in Exodus 19. And they're not going to mention the month of Siwan, but you know what the 3rd month is called.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. We in the book of Exodus, or Shemot, chapter 19,
19.
19, verse 1. Let us all say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
In the 3rd month, after the children of Israel were going forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. And when they were departed from Rephidim, and were come to the wilderness of Sinai, they encamped in the wilderness. And there Yisrael encamped before the mount. And Moshe went up unto God, And the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bore you on eagle's wings,
Mhm.
and brought you unto myself. Now, therefore, if you will hearken unto my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye
Right.
shall be mine own treasure from among all the peoples, for
Stop.
all the earth is mine, and ye
Stop
shall
right
be
there.
unto
Stop
me.
right there, Prince Salika. You see that how powerful that what he just said to us right there is. Our people really need to take a real good look into this part right here when he just what he's telling us right here. He said, "Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice, indeed, and keep my covenant,
Mhm,
then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me."
mhm.
This is what my brother was telling me yesterday. He brought up the word in Hebrew, segula.
Me.
You know what I mean? Peculiar treasure. This is a beautiful thing for our creator, the creator of all things and everything, to just specify a specific people to come to and come down and give his statutes, his commandments, his laws, his instructions to. That's his wisdom, his knowledge, his understanding. And we take it for granted and we cast it aside like it's something petty. And we deal with it like it's like it's something, we scorn it. We scorn the table of the Lord, like what they say in Malachi. It's not good. This is not good, brothers and sisters. We got to see what we're doing. What we're doing is not good, because the King has gave us the greatest thing and called us his greatest treasure. And we don't call him our greatest treasure. How we don't do this? How 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 can our maker, owner, and possessor call us his segula, his peculiar possession, and we don't look at our creator and our maker, our owner, in the same way he look at us? This is why we in the predicaments that we in. This is why we on the other side of the world. This is why we have other people who pretending to be us. You know what I mean? They sitting they like they, you know what I mean? They not really looking like us because they don't look like the inscriptions or the pictures on the wall or nothing. But you know, everybody running with that story because we're not doing what we're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And it hurts when you really think about it, because we take for granted the greatest thing in the world, to have such a deep connection, or such a close connection with something so powerful. You know what I mean? We take that for granted. And only, you know what I mean? Because no other nation, he said he has not dealt so with no other nation. He ain't give his word to the Jewish man. He ain't give him to the Hamites, nor the Europeans, nor none of the other nations. Even other Shemites didn't even get the word. Esau was a Shemite. Esau the Arabian, he was a Shemite. Ishmael is a Shemite. They didn't get the word. The word was given to Israel. You know what I mean? And we hearing it right now. Let's tumshi, so we could testify for ourselves. Testify, because some people read the book and they read in the book and they thinking it's a comic book. This is not a comic book, people. This is real. This is real life. Because if everything from the beginning is, and it still exists to this day, that everything in the book can be explained that's in the earth is in the book to be explained. Everything in the earth and in the universe can be explained by this divine book right here, especially when it comes to this Torah. Tamshi.
We're in the book of Exodus, chapter 19, at the bottom of verse 5. For all the earth is mine, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. And Moshe came and called for all the elders of the people and set before them all these words which the Lord commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, all that the Lord hath spoken, we will do. And Moshe reported the words of the people unto the Lord. And Yah said unto Moshe, Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and may also believe thee forever. And Moshe told the words of the people unto the Lord. And Yah said unto Moshe, Go unto the people and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their garments and be ready against the third day. For the third day the Lord will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai.
Stop right there. So you see, Yah is proclaiming it even before it happened. He's giving Moshe the warning. He's telling Moshe to tell us, get ready, get prepared. So, like what we're doing right now, new moons is an alarm. Something's coming. What's coming? We got Shavuot right around the corner. We got many things on the table. You already know how we work. You know how we do already. If you don't, they better find out. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? Israel is in this universe. You know what I mean? The stars is still in the sky. The moon, sun. We doing what we supposed to do. You know what I mean? Those of us who fear Yah and keep the commandments, we are doing what we supposed to do. And if we're not, you better return. Because that's our job right now, to return back Jacob back to Yah, Most High, Maker, owner, possessor of all things, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. You know what I mean? And to be a light unto these nations, to these people, because they lost in limbo, and we got the blind leading the blind, because we didn't turn back. So how are they gonna lead us if we didn't turn back to the Creator who's supposed to guide us, who's the shepherd over all of us? If we ain't return back to the shepherd over all of us, how the rest of the nation gonna return back? That's impossible. Big brother has to do it first. If we the firstborn, we gotta do it first. You know what I'm saying? Tamshi.
For those who just came on, we're on Exodus. We're in the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 12. And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, Take heed to yourselves that ye go not up into the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever touch the mount shall be surely put to death. No hand shall touch him, but he shall surely be stoned or shot through. Whether it be a beast or a man, it shall not live. When the ram's horn soundeth long, it shall come up to the mount. And Moshe went down from the mount unto the people and sanctified the people, and they washed their garments. And he said unto the people, Be ready against the third day. Come not near a woman. And it came to pass on the third day, when it was morning, that there were thunders and lightnings and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the horn of exceeding loud. And all the people that were in the camp trembled. And Moshe brought forth the people out of the camp to meet Yah, and they stood at the nether part of the mount. Now Mount Sinai was altogether on smoke, because Yah descended upon it in fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. And when the voice of the horn waxed louder and louder, Moshe spoke, and Yah answered him by a voice. And the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai to the top of the mount, and the Lord called Moshe to the top of the mount. Moshe went up. And the Lord said unto Moshe, Go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto the Lord to gaze, and many of them perish. And let the priests also that come near to the Lord sanctify themselves, lest the Lord break forth upon them. And Moshe said unto the Lord, The people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for thou didst charge us, saying, Set bounds about the mount and sanctify it. And Yah said unto him, Go get thee down, and thou shalt come up, thou and Aharon with thee. But let not the priests and the people break through to come up unto the Lord, lest he break forth upon them. So Moshe went down unto the people and told them, Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. So you see that right there? The Most High is setting bounds. You know what I mean? To make you know he's that set apart, because he already commanded us to be holy, set apart, Kwadosh. He said, I am holy, so ye be holy. You know what I mean? We not really made to be amongst the nations like that, really. You know what I mean? We really supposed to be dwelling amongst ourselves. Even like right now, you know what I mean? These new moon things, when the Shavuots come, the Sukkot, the Pesachs, the all those ones, the ones that fall in the middle of the month, and the ones them that don't fall in the middle of the month, because Shavuot don't really fall in the middle of the month, because it's more pertaining to the agriculture. And when that first fruit, you know what I mean, budding forth and all that, you should be getting your first fruit right now. If you planted your seed in that Pesach time, you understand? Because our culture, our customs, our statutes run under that. The Most High have everything aligned. He's the controller, the maker, the owner, the possessor of it all, and he has it all calibrated to work in unison. Is nothing out of whack except us. You know what I mean? It's only us who are we endowed with the most greatest of his wisdom, his knowledge, and his understanding. So it just make it looks just more crazy. You understand? It's like, what's going on with us? And when I say like entering Siwan, you know what I mean? This is a very beautiful time. The Most High, it's not just the time when we bring up our first fruits next week. Um, it's the time when the Most High Himself gathers His own first fruits to Him, which is us. You know what I mean? The children of Israel. You know what I mean? He calls us to Himself. He said He bared us on His wings, and He's proven it to us. This is when He gave us the commandments on Mount Sinai. The very next chapter is the ten great words. You know what I mean? So you know what we dealing with here is the true and living. He's not coming in nobody else's name or somebody else's thing. You know what I mean? Just like I hear a lot of brothers say, Yah's not an Israelite. You know what I mean? He's the maker of Israel. You feel me? He's the king. He's our redeemer. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, in the month of Siwan, we on day one right now. We in actual day one, the first part of it, the dark part of it. Then when we go in the morning part and the evening part, that the day is complete. But you heard what it said, 3 days. So it says like it would have been Siwan, third day, Siwan. You know, Siwan, the third day of Siwan, when the Most High said, "Come, come," He said, "Boo." He called us to Him. You know what I mean? 'Cause a couple chapters before this is Boo. Bo, you know what I mean? The Most High been called us to Him. He said, "Come," you know what I mean? And here we had to hear His voice, His own divine voice. You know what I mean? So we didn't disbelieve Moshe. And even after hearing the Creator's voice, seeing all the miracles, the splitting of waters, Jordan, the Yam Suf, the Red Sea, the blood in the Nile, the 10 plagues, all these things that we seen. Every time we ask for water, we got water. Every time we ask for food, we got food. No matter what, we just I don't know. We don't get it, but we gotta get it. I know we could get it because God, yeah, trust in us. He didn't put this trust in us for us to fail. And He said He ain't forsaking us of failing us. So why should we fail Him? We gotta learn to be His peculiar treasure, and he gotta be our peculiar treasure, just like how He calls us His peculiar treasure. You know what I'm saying? We got to match up with what He called us to be. You know what I mean? He called us to be great above all these nations. You know what I mean? We have people doing all kind of stuff out here, man. We got to do better, Israel. Hallelujah. Praise the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, Yaakov, Torah. King. Prince, you want to bust a prayer? King. Bust on. Oh, Most High. Bless your mighty name, Yah. Your sanctified, divine, holy name. I told her, Yah, for Yah, you know what I mean? First and foremost. I told her, Yah, for my brothers. I told her, Yah, for my sisters. You know what I mean? I told her, Yah, for my father, my mother, who brought me in this universe. That's all they really had to do. You know what I mean? I give thanks. You know what I mean? I'm here doing things that I ain't even, who would have thought? You know what I mean? I praise Yah. Hallelujah. I love him for all things and everything. Torah, he gave me a beautiful wife. He gave me beautiful children. You know what I mean? I want him, I pray to Yah to guide my family and all the families of Israel that you brought out of the land of Mizraim in all their endeavors that they do in your name successfully, progressively, righteously, humbly. Let us walk with our King humbly. Let us pursue justice. Let us love righteousness. Hallelujah, Abraham. Hallelujah, Isaac. Hallelujah, Yaakov. Torah, Ya Israel. I did that long. That was long.